going to go live right now.
Okay.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. Sorry, I'm late here. Things have been happening today. Anyway, good afternoon. And don't forget, we've got more guests for you today. But now it's Tien. Hello, how are you?
Good, Steve. How are you?
Brilliant, really good. Tell everybody a bit about yourself.
Sure. So my name is Jean, and I am the creator of the Success Method, which is a proprietary tool that I use with my clients that really help them up level their success without the overwhelm or the hustle or the bustle or the grind, and without really any sacrificing on their side. And so I've been in corporate for over 20 years. I have experienced everything that I work with my clients on. And, I realized that there's a better way to do things. And that's why I've made it my mission to help spread that information so that others don't have to suffer the same way that I have in the past. Um, so I am a mom of two. I am in the US and currently living my passion. Can't complain.
Great. What is your um, what is your long goal? Because we've talked before. What long goals have you got? What is your ideal world?
Yeah, so, I think that we are currently in the process of evolution in terms of where and what has been happening out in society out there. We've seen a lot of large changes, right? Starting with the pandemic that started back in 2019, early 2020. And I think ultimately my long goal is in working with this new shift in terms of the human mindset, human beliefs, that we get to a place where the struggle isn't necessary and people start to realize that, and people can start to embrace their full selves in order to really live a life that is full of joy, that is pure, that we're more of a collaborative society rather than a competitive society.
So, what can you offer people that other people can't?
I'm sorry, Steve, what can you say that again? What can I offer people that what?
Yeah, yeah. What can you offer people that other coaches can't?
Oh, that other coaches can't.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I think it's interesting, right? So it really depends on what the individual is looking for. If the individual is looking for real world experience, someone who has been through it, most of my clients come to me because I've been in finance for over 20 years. Um, and I know exactly what it is that they're experiencing. So there's a level of that. But it's also, in terms of coaching, it's really in working with the individual to help them with their mindset shifts. And not only that, but I am an intuitive. So one of the, I'll call the secret weapons that I have is that with my intuition, I am able to work with my clients and get results much faster because of the fact that we really go into the nitty gritty. So like I don't have to skirt around to try to find the issue. I can see what it is immediately. And then we just really start to work right away in terms of helping my clients get to where their end goal is. And, I think that really it's about working for me. It's never about the external. It's always about the internal. So we rarely focus on, I think a lot of what I've seen too, is that my clients will come to me because their external isn't working out the way that they had hoped it to be, or it's uncomfortable for whatever different situation. And, while we can focus on that, a lot of it is really focused on internal because that's really where it all starts.
great, great. You call yourself creator of the success method. Tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, so the success method is the proprietary tool that I had mentioned earlier on. It is the step-by-step process in which I work with my clients to help them up level their success, right? I think, for me, it took me 40 years to realize that success is a personal definition. I've always worked under this paradigm of a predefined definition of success, a predefined paradigm of success. I had to go to an Ivy League university, become come out, get a professional degree, get married, have kids, like all of these from society, culture, parents, employers, etc. And it took me, I'm working under those paradigms. I was able to move up the corporate ladder and, achieve what I was meant to achieve. But then I wasn't really happy doing that. And that's where I started to look for a different situation, a different solution, which is how I came up with the success method. Because what I realized is that our definition of success, if we really allow ourselves to be honest with ourselves, is not going to always align with what society and others have defined for us. So instead, we really look at what's important to the individual in terms of what would make them feel successful. Because, there's so many of us out there, or there's so many individuals out there, myself, having been one of them, that made six figures, that climbed the corporate ladder, that lived in a nice house. We had all of the material wealth that I think others would look at and say like, oh, wow, she's really successful. But deep down inside, it was always a constant game of chasing. It was like this concept of the hungry ghost. You're constantly chasing something because you're looking to be full. But that fulfillment didn't come from the material wealth or the external environment that we were in. It really comes from reassessment of what it is that fills us up, literally, right? And emotionally and within the soul, so that we could finally feel full from the experiences that we had. So it's never really about success from we gain outside of us, but it's in terms of basically it really helps individuals finally experience the success and enjoy the success that they've already achieved. And so success is broken down, and it's that 7-step process where we start really, in terms of the S stands for sussing out. It's sussing out and really doing that inner discovery, being that private investigator of what is important to us, what success means to us. It's an understanding why it's important to us. It's in, creation. It's in healing energetically. There's all these different steps that I work with my clients through this process of helping them just kind of unwind the stories that they've been telling themselves, and that the others have been telling them about what it is that they need to do in order to be quote unquote successful in their life. And I think what's interesting too is that what people don't realize is that once you tap into your own success, I think, so many of us, they get to a certain place in their life where, they feel like, oh, they can't make changes because they're afraid of sacrificing the success that they've already achieved, right? Which is interesting because that success didn't really bring them that satisfaction, that fulfillment, but they're still, but they worked hard for it. So they don't want to sacrifice the income that they've already achieved or the luxury that they've already achieved. And what people don't realize is that they don't have to, and that they can actually achieve a lot more when they start to have the mindset shifts. And when they start to work within their own definition of success, they actually achieve a lot more, a lot faster than if they were to constantly push towards fulfillment of this societal expectation of what success means to them.
So let's talk about your success, right? Tell me a bit about your success.
Yeah, so I've been in corporate for over 20 years, and I've started my business, I would say about 3 years ago, probably really, focused on
You're a
it.
millionaire? You're a millionaire?
I am not a millionaire. Well, actually, I take that back. I am a millionaire, but I'm not in the same way that I think other people are asking about. But again, I don't define my success by how much money I make or
Yeah,
by,
yeah,
the a number in my bank account. I have a nice number, quite frankly. I'm not, ashamed of it, but or embarrassed by it. But that's not my success, and that's not how I define my success.
yeah, yeah. But but other people do, don't they? They look at it and they think, wow, that's so much in my bank account, and that's it. And I think, when you're kind of like coaching and looking after people, I think also it's kind of like taking that thing around your head, the halo, off, and say, right, I'm here to help people. Money is secondary. Money is good to have, isn't it, really? But it's better than to help people, isn't it?
Well, I don't think you need to have either or. I think you can have both. I think that yes, people do look at money, and money is, humans have placed a huge importance of money in terms of as a measure of success. But really, when you look at it, money, and there's a meaning behind money for everybody. Everybody has a money story. So, in order to really understand what it is that money means to them from a success measurement perspective, we have to look at, you know, what does money bring for them? What are they really looking for? Is it really money and an accumulation of money, or is it something else? And I think most people would say that it's something else, because you can have $1 billion in your bank account, but if all you're doing is working 24/7 just to accumulate that money and not experiencing life, that's certainly one way to live, right? And they could define themselves as successful that way. I think most of my clients would come to me, who do come to me, do not define themselves that way. They're looking for more.
Right. More as what? What are they looking for?
It depends. Everybody is looking for something different. They're looking for more joy at the end of the day. They're looking for fulfillment, whether or not they realize it. They're really looking for sometimes a way out of their current situation because they feel stuck. They feel like they don't have anywhere to go. They've reached already the pivot, the peak of their career, and they're not really sure what else is left for them. And then but there's always something more available for them. They just don't know what it is. And the fear of not knowing what it is, and the fear of losing what they've already achieved, kind of keeps them from, kind of taking the steps forward in terms of redefining themselves and rediscovering themselves.
What kind of clients uh, are you after? If you were like, if you're looking for clients right now, what clients do you need?
Well, I don't need any clients. I think that for me, I really enjoy working with clients who are open to making changes, open to learning about themselves, open to becoming vulnerable and really rediscovering themselves, and, kind of open to, and not kind of, but really open to rediscovering what life could be like if they were to finally let go of a lot of the fears, a lot of the preconceived notions of who they need to be or who they should be, so that they can finally discover like who they were meant to be. And who they are meant to be is just, for every one of my clients, is so much bigger than they could have imagined. I mean, some of them, when I tune into what their purpose is in life, and, where their careers could go, they're astounded by just how grand and how vast it is. Some of them are willing to take that step, others are not, because, it really depends on the confidence that they have in themselves, the belief that they have in themselves, to be able to make it work for them, instead of, you know it instead of living to work, right? It's just more about taking the actions in order to truly live and experience life.
Right. Okay. How about let's talk about before about the bit about the past. So really, um, kind of, what kind of jobs did you have in the past?
I've always worked in finance. I've worked on the risk side of finance, specifically in compliance and in non financial operational risk. And so that's really where most of my past experience comes from.
Right, that's good, good, good. Do you think that there's enough clients out there at the moment for everyone?
Absolutely. Absolutely. There's over 1 billion people in this world, and there are different needs for each one. I personally have multiple coaches going on, each serving a different need. So I absolutely don't see it as competition. I see it as collaboration. And then people who will resonate with me will come to me, and other people, they won't resonate with me, and they'll go to the other people that they resonate more with because they feel more aligned with them, for whatever reason, and that's okay.
Right, okay, okay. And is your husband in the same sort of business with you?
No, he's not. He's in
No,
technology. Yeah.
technology. So that's handy if your computer comes crashes down or
So
anything, doesn't
yes,
it?
it's
Really?
very, very helpful to have somebody in house who understands technology.
Great, great.
Yeah.
If so, what kind of plans can you offer people right now?
So there's different plans that they have in terms of working with me. I can work with them. I'm available to work with them one-on-one. I have a 3-month plan, 6-month plan, or there's a customized ad hoc one that we can create based off of what the customers are in need of. I work really for like I don't follow the paradigm of the coaching industry, and this is really what's in with that's this is really what's um, aligned with my message as well, right? It's like I'm not trying to follow a model here. What I really do is I really look at what works best for the client, and then we work on a customized plan this way. So, I recently signed on a client, and we said it's a 3-month engagement or a 3-month commitment. However, the first one, we'll meet every week, and then because she is senior executive within finance, within corporate, and I understand the challenges in terms of time management, in terms of resources that's required for her, right? The commitment that she has to make for her job as well. I said, look, in month 2 and 3, let's reevaluate where we are, and if we don't need to meet on a weekly basis, we don't have to. And I think that's what separates me from others as well, is that I really am not here to push. I hate used car salesman type of tactics or
Yeah, yeah,
marketing type of tactics. I'm not here to push something onto others, because then they don't walk away with the experiences and with that they can take away that really is for their highest good, that would really sit well with them so that they can do whatever it is that they need in order to grow and expand and take the most away from our coaching sessions. My goal is really just to create it so that it really works for the benefit of the client. And it always works out. I've had clients for, years. First they said it was like month to month, and then now it's like I worked with them for over a year. And it's in that way because of the flexibility that I provide, because they know that I'm here to support them. And it's never to push my products onto other people. And so yeah, so even though I have 3-month and 6-month plans, I can create longer, I can create shorter. It really is just what I do the assessment, I give the proposal, and if the client is comfortable, great. If they're not comfortable, we can try something different. But usually, we do ask for at least that 3-month commitment, because it takes, really, quite honestly, it takes at least 6 months for people to really make lifelong permanent changes. And at minimum, it's 6 months. And really, what I see in my personal experience too is that it takes years to start to change habits, to start changing the neuro pathways of our thinking and of our decision making processes. And it's in having that coach to support you, to work with you through these changes, that reinforce them, so that you're really starting to create a new process, a new decision making tree within your brain in terms of up leveling and upgrading your life.
Brilliant. I'll tell you what, I want to leave it on that one actually,
Okay.
because I want to get you in on the radio as soon as possible. I tell you what, that is fantastic. Now, if people want to contact you, how do they do it? How do they contact you?
Oh yeah, sure. So they can email me at info. So my email address is info@jeantien.com. So that's JEANTIEN.com. And that's also my website address. So they can reach me through there too, through the contact form. So there's two ways.
Thank you, Jean. You've been a wonderful guest, and I love having you on because you're always open about what you do. You know, you don't. You're kind of like you talk plain English. Some people come on and go, "Oh yeah, I've got to do this," and it's like this, and it confuses me. I'm telling you, it confuses me, but you don't. Thank you, Jean. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me, Steve. It's lovely to be
Thank you
on.
for thank you for your time today.
Thanks.
Bless you. Bye.
Bye.